should artists reinvent themselves, or maybe should they not? Recently, we've seen a influx of artists who are getting major success, rappers specifically, Bossman Dlow, BigXthaPlug. Of course, y'all know DaBaby. He's on his comeback tour. We'll see if he actually will get back to where he was or not. I like the music he's putting out, though, guys. Mm-hmm. But these guys is actually putting out music, and recently, it was Bossman Dlow, who was getting trolled by fans online because they were saying all his music sounds the same. Mm-hmm. Why are you not switching up the flow, boss man? And he laughed at it and was like, y'all still rocking with me. What are we talking about, right? Mm-hmm. I got to ask you, man, because we just came off a topic talking about Uzi not reinventing himself or lack thereof, but are we making much to do about nothing? Like, do artists really need to switch up the formula? You know what I mean? Like, dude, is that even necessary?
Look, one of the biggest quotes I live by is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, mm-hmm. right? I thought when people were calling out DaBaby for that, I thought it wasn't fair. I thought DaBaby is a big artist, so you're probably consuming his music more than their typical artists that you consume. So you're probably like, yo, I've heard this song 15 times, and okay. I'm just used to hearing that flow from him, right? Okay. I think there's more artists like Polo G, right? Polo G uses the same flows all the time.
That's true.
You know, but I if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean,
do you really feel that way?
I want to be careful.
Do you really feel that way?
I'm trying to be very, very
that's
careful.
That's the thing, right?
I don't mean this as an insult.
Okay.
I don't want to say this as an insult.
Okay.
I just don't believe to make it in the hip hop game these days, you have to be a full blown artist, right? I think a lot of these rappers that people like and are enjoying are rappers that are good enough to give you a verse here and there, good enough to be guest features. You know what I'm saying? Remember how back in the day, I was laughing at this the other day. Remember back in the day, people had albums and there was just certain people that were just special for collaboration rap songs. Be like 5 posse cuts. Remember those? Posse cuts?
Of course.
Like, you know, certain artists are just really good posse cut artists. Bro. Like Busta Rhymes has become a really good posse cut artist. Bossman Dlow to me is a posse cut rapper.
Okay.
That people have put on a pedestal as a number 1 option, as a number 2 option. I don't think he's that. I think he's just a dude that gives a song some flavor.
Okay.
You know, remember Jaquan?
Of course.
Remember all these people like Murphy Lee?
Hey.
Once you let Murphy Lee start making songs on his own, it was just like, yeah, you know, I kind of like you just dropping verses here and there.
I like that analogy.
You know what I mean?
I
think that's what this is.
I actually really like that analogy, and because I was gonna come in here and talk about, let's stick with the sports analogy. You brought up basketball before. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna bring up an NFL analogy. Mm-hmm. For those of you guys who are familiar with NFL, I'll say football and how that works. Think about the running back position. You have every down backs, and then you have third down backs.
Yep.
Right? Like
goal line backs.
Look at the Jets. That's your squad, right?
Yep.
Is Braylon Allen an every down back?
Nope.
Or is Breece Hall an every down back?
I think both are not every down backs.
That's interesting you say that. You're right. All right. Maybe that's a bad example.
But there's more back. But Breece Hall plays more. I get the point.
You get the point. Yeah, I get the point. Bossman Dlow 100% is not an every down running back. He's not a everyday rapper. His album will. I already know what's going to happen. When he drops his album, people are going to say, bro, every song sounds the same. Like, where are all the features? Like, this guy's not that good. I know the chatter. I heard it. We heard it with DaBaby. We've heard it with. It's happening right now with BigXthaPlug. It happened to Moneybagg Yo. It happens to every rapper who now is occupying a specific lane of rap now, and that's what happens. We're at a stage right now where rap is so massive that there's so many different niches of things that people love. The Sexy Reds, right? Glorilla just dropped a new album. But I actually like her album. I thought it was pretty unique and just like had different flavors on it.
Yeah.
So the challenge is now, how do those artists who are in these different lanes spice up their music? Because they kind of have to.
But to use
You know what I'm
another
saying?
to defend Bossman Dlow,
And he got to stop saying, "Hey, come here, baby.
Come here, yeah.
baby. Hey, baby."
To
Every line
defend-
can't end with "baby." Come on.
To defend Bossman Dlow, to play devil's advocate here, like
Do that.
I always like to do.
You're a
I'm
devil.
going to use another sports exactly. I'm going to use another sports analogy here.
Okay.
You know how they say like certain quarterbacks, like you don't play a rookie quarterback, right?
Okay.
Let the rookie learn from the mistakes that they make in practice, and let the first rep guy get the reps, and you watch, as these people shine.
Jordan Love,
for example.
Okay.
I felt like hip hop had more of that back then. Like as when Biggie came out, Biggie was the star of the show. Mace was in the back. Let's throw Mace a little verse here and there, or Busta Rhymes had Rampage. Let's throw him a little verse here and there. Let's see what happens. A lot of these guys now may not be fully their artistry.
they're
is
not featured.
fully,
They're not a feature. They don't have the arsenal to be a feature
but
artist.
even so, like people are complaining about Bossman Dlow. Bossman Dlow's been on for like a year.
That's true.
Do you know how
Longer,
many
actually.
many people, how long? Like we all look at Drake. The Drake that we see today ain't the Drake we saw when he first came out. We got to give some of these artists some more time to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody thinks Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. Oh, Michael Jackson, he's always been great, but Michael Jackson was not Thriller Michael Jackson when he first came out.
But guess what?
You know what I'm saying?
But guess what, though?
I'm not saying Bossman Dlow is going to.
You're not saying he's actually
going to
get. I get it.
But I'm just saying, like, let him drop his album.
Hey, look.
Let him do his thing. Let's see how he adjusts, evolve. Dog,
I
I'm going to say this,
Go
too.
ahead.
Sorry, I cut you off, but dog, real talk. I thought Rick Ross was awful. I did not think Rick Ross was a good rapper. Dog,
You mean Port of Miami? Port of Miami days? It was not good.
I did not
It
think
was
Rick
not
Ross
good.
was a good
Like,
rapper.
real talk.
I could not stand his rap style. Right? We always talk about it. And then you can see kind of a shift when Triller came out.
Right.
Okay, he's some songs where his swag. Then when he had his back against the wall against 50 Cent, he dropped
Deeper Than Rap.
Deeper Than Rap.
Yeah, Deeper
I was
Than
like,
Rap
yo,
did.
dog, this dude's nice.
Of course.
And since then, Rick Ross got better.
And now he's marveled for his pen.
And now it's like Rick Ross to me I would put him in my top 15, top 10 rappers of all time.
I wouldn't go that far, but I get the
Definitely
point.
top 10.
I do
top
get the
15 for
point.
me.
I do get the point.
It's not even. It's top 15, top 10. He's definitely a top 15.
Well, for you, that's fine.
At least top 15.
At
least 15. Stop it.
He's top.
What?
For me, I give him top 20. He's in the top 20.
You can name 19 people better than Rick Ross.
As a rapper?
That's not true.
As a rapper?
That is a complete
100%.
lie. No. I
said
will
top
not.
20. You said
no,
top 15.
That's
Like,
still
it ain't
disrespectful.
even that far
Rick
off.
Ross is a
Hey,
top 15 rapper.
We can have that debate if you want. Not now,
Bro,
on a
there
day.
is not
I can name
19
you,
rappers better than Rick
I will name
Ross.
you 19 rappers who could arguably be better than Ross. I didn't say it's like definitive.
Name me one that's at the bottom, close to. It's like is Nicki Minaj. Would you say Nicki Minaj is better?
Busta Rhymes.
It's okay.
Busta
now,
Rhymes.
What?
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes is.
You said name me a rapper who's arguably at the bottom of the list that I'm talking about.
What?
Busta
You
Rhymes
have
as
Busta Rhymes higher than
Do you
Rick
know
Ross?
what?
I love Busta. I love
See what people like to
Busta.
do is they like to minimize him to
No,
what
but
he
Rick
ended
Ross.
up. Busta Rhymes is an incredible rapper.
I know that.
What are we
But
talking
we're
about?
talking about Rick Ross.
It's a different flavor of rapper. Let's be clear.
Wow.
But
I'm
Busta
not sure
Rhymes
about that.
is a rapping
Go look at
ass
your-
dude. Are we freaking kidding
He
me?
is a rapping ass dude, but are you forgetting about
All right,
what
bro.
Rick Ross has
Listen.
done in the last 10
Hey,
years?
This is not a
are you
Ross,
crazy?
This is not a Ross debate.
You are out of your mind.
I'm actually not. And if anybody,
Okay,
and if
what
anybody,
Busta Rhymes album
and if
do you like?
Anybody knows? No,
what
and-
Busta Rhymes album
F
will you
that.
say is
F that. Bro.
give me right now.
No.
Which Busta Rhymes
No,
album?
Look, this is
on
turned
his
into a
spit?
Busta Rhymes and
Which
Ross debate.
Busta
I don't
Rhymes
care enough right
album?
now. You
Okay,
turning this into
sorry.
something I don't
Okay,
care about.
okay,
What
okay,
the heck?
okay,
We can do
all
this
right,
offline
all right,
if you
all
would
right,
like
fine,
to.
fine,
But
go ahead.
the point was not about Ross. Your
All right.
point was about
Okay, his
that
career
Ross has
is
evolved over time.
Yes, and he's
that
gotten-
was your point.
and I think he's
which
gotten
is the
better.
fact.
Yes, okay.
I agree with you.
So you
but
never
Bossman
know.
Dlow, I don't believe he will.
Do you think he's skilled?
I don't believe he will evolve over
so
time.
you don't think he's
as a pen, like his
skilled.
pen.
Okay.
I don't see it. I don't.
Well, I do.
But I just wanted to say this real quick. I wanted to say that I don't think that artists of today have the luxury to develop over time. Because they're thrusted into the
government.
forefront.
Government's not giving enough money.
No, F the government. They ain't giving them enough cheese and assistance. Is that what you're trying
Government
to say?
assistance?
That's freaking racist. No, I'm kidding. But no, dude, artists they're popping up. They're putting out music. They're being judged. The public is seeing it. Social media. Like nobody's giving the grace to actually develop in the way I think you're saying. So it actually sucks to be an artist for that particular reason these days. But hey, bruh, if you got the talent in you, hey, eventually you're gonna have to show. I think eventually, if you're an artist that has longevity, a different like element, a new sort of flavor, maybe an elevation of your pen, something needs to actually change. So when people are coming at these artists, BigXthaPlug, Bossman Dlow, DaBaby, when they're saying these things, I do think there's some merit to the claims of like, yo, you sound the same. Okay. And I do think, yeah, you should eventually switch up if you do plan to have longevity. Most artists can't actually stay the same. Most artists cannot stay the same for that long. Let's be real.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm still offended by Rick Ross is not a top 15 rapper. What?
Yo, get off my Johnson.
I
literally said top 20. You act like I said top 50.
That's
what are you talking about? The fact that you even picking at this is insane to me. If I said top 100, I would be offended like you. What are we talking about?
Top 10, 15.
What are we talking about right now?
I'm very curious. He's closer to top 10 than he is to top 15.
We can actually do a full-blown list if you want. I swear, we can do it.
No, but I want them to know. I want them to. I'm curious
because now I got to ask you before because we're not going to do it. What we will talk about is the criteria.
Here we go.
No, this is important.
Yes.
Are we talking about skill and accomplishments, or are we just talking about skill? Which one are we talking about? And when you're talking about this list,
I think skills and accomplishment.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear on what the criteria is.
Skills and accomplishment.
Fair enough.
But all right, whatever.
So in other words, Saha the Prince won't count.
But I will say, in
other words, Saha the Prince doesn't
we
count.
won. But I do want to say this before we close out.
Okay, yeah.
I did listen to BigXthaPlug's album. I liked it a lot.
Me too.
BigXthaPlug, from a production standpoint, I love what he brought from a production standpoint. So while his flows are very similar, the different types of backdrops that he uses are
the samples and all that stuff.
The samples and his lyrical content.
Conceptually,
his content's pretty dope.
Like the 2 a.m. song with the Isley Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
I like conceptually he brings the concept, but the approach is the same.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people. I get flows. Yes, I get it. But when somebody's actually talking about something, because another person too that uses the same flow a lot is a dude from Houston, Nigerian.
Maxo Cream.
Maxo Cream. He uses the same flow all the time.
No, he does.
Right?
He does.
Benny the Butcher uses the same flow all the time.
He does.
But
he does.
What they're saying, they don't care what. I don't care how we said it. Is listen to what we're saying, and I think in those cases you got to give a pass to.
But and also the last thing I'll say is beyond just the flows too. A lot. Artists, rappers specifically, they give a lot of credence to some of these claims of sounding the same. Mm-hmm. I think it's more about the production, and not. Yeah. It's not always about their approach to rap because you're right, dog. People be rapping the same. That's not a crime.
Yeah.
But it's when you don't switch up the production.
Yeah.
That's like okay, bro.
That's when it's like
we need something different, bro.
Let's see what you do differently.
Yeah, like come on, add a different element, but we'll see. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up.
Listen to the full episode, link below.